What's up, fellow space lovers? Dr. McKay here, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Now, I said to you this would be a one-off, and I'm still kind of in that first one-off phase, but I'm just eager to bring another video out on this. I want to try and get to orbit to show you, like, to get to orbit and whatnot. So this is purely basically an extra video to the first one I did. Now, obviously, if you do receive these videos greatly and you want me to do more of these, I know I do have a lot of Space Engineers subscribers and fans, and this may be up their alley and you may like this game. So if you do want me to continue this, I am eager to, but I don't want to clutter up my YouTube channel with loads of stuff that nobody's going to watch. So I am thinking about you guys as well. I want to try and bring content that you guys want more than what I want to bring. So please let me know in the comments, and if you do like this series I want to do, please smash that like button, comment that you want it to continue, and don't forget, if you haven't already and you're new, please subscribe. It means the world to me if you do. So previously we launched a Crew 1 and Crew 2, and obviously Crew 1 was a simple rocket, it didn't go very high, and Crew 2 we got out of the atmosphere but we couldn't get into orbit. So the goal of this video is to get into orbit. So we already have our missions, I think, or did I not do that? I got one mission, which is orbit, I think. So what we're going to do, we're going to actually get the test one. Where is it? That one there. Alright, so that's to test the swivel engine on the launch pad. So we're going to actually do that, alright, and then we're going to launch. So we're going to build our rocket. Now, in the last video, I actually didn't go over two things that this game actually has as well, which you can actually do. You can actually build a space plane or a helicopter. I think we might have parts for that now. I'm not entirely sure. I don't really build space planes because I cannot get planes to fly how I want them to. I can go up, but I can go down, but going left, right, like a normal plane would, it's just hard for me to do. So I kind of stay clear of planes and focus on the rockets. But a shuttle is a bit different. It's a bit of both. So we may get into a shuttle if we continue down this series. So we're going to go to the vehicle assembly building and we're going to try and achieve orbit. Now, to do this, you need to have significant thrust on liftoff to get you high enough before you separate your second stage. Your second stage needs to have enough fuel to get you into an orbit, but also have enough fuel to deorbit you as well. Otherwise, we're going to leave an astronaut floating around in space, wondering when his next sandwich is going to come from. So we've only got two capsules. We're going to go with number one because I prefer this one over that one. No, they're both basically the same. No, but I prefer this one. It's a lot easier to work with. Right. So we're gonna go straight with a parachute because we need one. So now we have a capsule and a parachute. We need to decouple her. No. Backtrack. We're going into orbit, so we need a heat shield. You know, heat shields are the things that save you all the time. So heat shield. There we go. Now that will protect the little Kerbal inside, which is always going to be Jeb because he is a little nutter that likes to go into space. Now we need a coupler. Right. So we have that. Brilliant. So what we need now is our second stage build, which is probably going to be the same again. 3 tanks. Ooh. 3 tanks. Come down a bit. Nope. Now you can change colour on these to whatever you want. I just go with the standard for a minute. So we have our 3 tanks and we want our swivel engine, but we're not testing this one because this one would just, well, we could test it, but that means we're skipping stages, and I don't really want to skip stages. So now obviously that is our vehicle that is going into orbit. So what we have is our engine, our decoupler, and our parachute. Now I'll stick some science on it in a minute. Let's just finish building the rocket. So we need another decoupler under the engine. Alright. And now we have some side couplers. We could basically build the same vehicle as what we did previously. Alright, for Crew 2. So three stack and an engine and another 3 stack and an engine. Alright. And then we're going to use some solid rocket boosters to give us the oomph to get up, which you'll see in a minute. But I'm not actually going to use this engine. I'm going to use the liquid fuel swivel engine, and this is the one we're going to be testing. So now we got that there. Right, we want to basically, I reckon, 2 boosters should be enough. You know, you can go completely nuts and put 8 on there if you wanted to, but I think 2 will be right. So we want to do symmetry mode now, so we keep our symmetry. Now we have 2 in the middle. Now if we check our center of mass is up the top there, it's roughly in the middle. It's kind of where you want it to be. It's a little bit to the low end, right? So we kind of want to keep it balanced, but we got some big, I want to say big, these aren't the big ones, but we have some large solid fuel tank, solid rocket boosters, shall I say. And basically these are like you light them and you can't turn them off until they run out of fuel. So you got to kind of choose wisely here. Now I do want to get into orbit, so I think these will come in handy. I just need to get them on the coupler. There you go. Yeah, they're on the coupler. Now they are a bit big for this rocket, I do think. So I don't think I've got any struts. Do I have any struts? Do I have structural? I do not. So I think that might be a problem. Yeah, let's not go too mad here. I don't have any struts. So let's go with the mid-size one, the hammer. That's definitely the right size. Nope. Trying to get it to fit properly on here. It is a challenge because you don't have a mouse, so it is tricky. I think that's about right. Is that right? Yeah, we're good. So they're on there, and as you can see, our center of mass has come down a little bit. It doesn't look very proportioned, but we'll make it work. Now I don't think we've got any nose cones. Do we have any nose cones? We have nose cones. Put some nose cones on here for aerodynamics. And we want some basic fins. Now we want 4 of these, don't we? We want on the bottom of the rocket. And I'm thinking we do it as well on the section of our rocket here to give us some stability as we are when we separate, in case we don't have any. And let me guess, our pad is our vehicle is too heavy by 0.385. Damn it. Well, maybe I can get rid of a fuel tank for the second stage, because we have got a beast. There we go. So we've sacrificed a bit of fuel on the second stage, so we should be alright. I think we should be alright. Right. Now we need some science. Now I want to try and test the temperature as I re-enter the atmosphere. So now we do have a press mat barometer, and it says a device for measuring the local atmosphere pressure, warranty voids if exposed to air. So we don't use it in atmosphere, we use it in space. So we only want one of these. Alright, so we want one of these. Get it work right there. We want some goo. We only want one of these as well, because we've done on the land in flight. Now we haven't done actually on orbit, so we're going to do that one in orbit. And we're going to have a thermometer as well. I might actually do two thermometers. Actually, no, I think we can have 2 thermometers, because we take 2 readings, don't we? So I have one there, and then one here, because I want to take temperature while actually in orbit, and I want to take temperature on descent as we're in the plasma on re-entry. So I think that is our rocket. I don't think I have anything else. No. Oh, just make sure those fins aren't under the engines, and they are. So I need to change these fins to a different angle, otherwise they may blow up with the solid rocket boosters. How's that? Yeah, that would work. Right, now we're ready. So this is going to be crew 3. This is going to be for orbit, and I'm hoping. Yeah, no, it doesn't have. It can transmit, so it's unused monoprint. Yeah, that's monoprint. Right, yeah, so we're good. So we got our rocket boosters that go first. Then we got our 2 decouplers that detach our boosters, and then we have our main engine, and then decouple second stage engine, decouple capsule for re-entry. And we're going to name this one Crew 3 Orbit. Crew 3 orbit. Alright, here we go. So Jeb, the little nutcase, is gonna be in this vessel, this vehicle of terror. Yeah. The thing about the Kerbals, they don't have a lot of health and safety, so expect rapid, unscheduled disassembly at any time. So there we have our rocket. Now we need to test our engine. Alright, now to do this, you press X on it, right, and then you do test. But when you test it, it actually fires. We don't want it to fire, so we turn our engines down. And if you look left of the nav ball, we have our throttle. Now, it always starts as 100, so we need to make sure we turn it off before we test. Now we're going to test it. And it should sound like it activates, so we should have the test there, run test. Right, now the engine is active, right? If I was to press up on throttle, it would ignite and go up. Alright, but we don't want to activate it just yet. So we're gonna activate the solid rocket boosters by pressing A, and then once they detach, we'll then throttle up manually to then activate the engine. So 3, 2, 1. And we're off. Jeb absolutely cacking his pants. At least should get us up a bit, and then I'll decouple, kind of angle over a little bit, just so the boosters fly into the ocean and not back down, because you do have to fix the launch pad if it gets damaged. We'll detach, and they blew up. Alright, now we're gonna throttle up with our main engine, and we're gonna go over a little bit so we can get sideways velocity without the vehicle going everywhere. Now it is a lot easier on computer with a keyboard than an analog stick, so PC has it made with this game. Alright, just need to get enough sideways velocity, get to 45, there we go. What I'll do, I'll check the orbit in a minute once we detach. It's not going to be exactly an equatorial orbit. There we go. I'm just going to throttle down, and we're going to see where we are. So we are there. Oh, I did a numpty again. Alright. So where is our apogee? We need to be higher than 100 meters. We're not, so we need to throttle up a bit more until we're higher than 100,000 meters, which is there. And now what we want to do, we want to basically angle ourselves to the 90-degree parallel to the planet. So picture that nav ball as the planet. Right? So we're now, once we get to the apogee, we'll be basically facing directly sideways in relation to the surface of the planet. And then we want to throttle up, and we want to watch our bar, well, not watch our bar, watch our orbit extend around the planet. Now, I am a little worried I don't have enough fuel, so this may be a one-way trip. Now I can't see the fuel because of the blinking Twitch bar, the stream bar. So I'm gonna have to kind of go by ear here. So we're almost there. Let's check staging quickly. We got plenty of fuel for a minute. Alright. So we want to do it just as we come up towards the apogee, and then we want to throttle up to create an orbit. And this is exactly how rockets in real life do it. Now obviously, to do different orbits you go different angles. Yeah, but we're going for an equatorial orbit, which is the most easiest to do, and it's also what you do to go to the moon and other things like that. Now you can go to the moon on a polar orbit, which is the opposite way. So like if you're looking at the planet like so, we are going to the 3 o'clock. Yeah, but to go to a polar orbit, you go to the 12 o'clock or the 6 o'clock. So we're almost there. We are almost there. We are. Right, now I'm going to throttle up in 3, 2, 1. Throttling. I may not have enough delta V here, which is the power of the engine. We need to get to like something like 2,000 meters a second. I'm gonna throttle down until we get there. Let's check our engine. No, we don't have enough fuel. I do not want to risk Jeb at the minute. I want to lose him in space. Yeah. But we can see how far we can get on our fuel. So I don't think we will make an orbit. If we do, that'd be absolutely nuts. But then I'd have no way of getting him out of orbit. So it's a kind of a one-way trip. I don't want to lose Jeb to the coldness of space. So we're coming up now to the apogee. It's 115 meters. And we still got like a lot of burning to do. So we're not gonna do it with this rocket. This rocket is a bit weak on the old second stage. And I thought we are gonna get to orbit today. And we're gonna throttle in 3, 2, 1, burning. Just burn all our fuel. And that's all our fuel, but we almost had an orbit. That is so close indeed. May look inaccurate to you because we're not at 0, but if you notice, we're set to water, but we can change it to land, which is 0. So wherever you're hovering over, well not hovering, but coming over as you're coming in the entry, make sure you change your altimeter to the correct altitude, otherwise you could misjudge a lot of things. Alright, now another good thing about this game, which I didn't show you in the last one, is you could do an EVA with good old Jebediah. So zoom in a bit. So we let go, and there he is, Mr. Happy little guy that didn't die. And now we can actually do some more science. We could do an EVA report, and it gives us some science. Now, he does the salute. It's pretty cool. Right, remove helmet. Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. So later on, when you upgrade your Kerbal Space Center for your astronauts, you can actually get it so your little Kerbals can pick up soil samples and place flags. So when you go to the moon, you can place a flag, you can pick up soil, and then you can basically do what the Apollo missions did. And it's really cool. I've done it twice, and only one successful Kerbal recovery. The first time I did it, I ran out of fuel, and the Kerbals were kind of like just stuck to wither away. And the second time I did it, I made sure I packed enough fuel, so it wasn't too bad. Trial and error. But we got 43 science there, and that's a nice bit. Didn't get no XP either. He's a joke, isn't he? Right, let's get some science. Alright, we can only buy one science, but I need to upgrade the launch pad, because 50 grand, I think I can manage that. So we need a bigger vehicle to go up, and I might upgrade the astronaut complex as well. 75,000? Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it. Twist my arm. So what can we do? We can Kerbals can perform EVAs. Kerbals can EVA and can now place flags. So here we go. Alright. Maximum part support 30. I didn't think we need more than 30, but that's all my money if I do that. So, right. So what I'm going to do, I ain't going to talk. We're just going to speed run this build. Alright. And we're going to go straight to launch pad. So I want to try and keep these videos to about 30 minutes. So let's do a new vehicle. Right, and we're back. Now, I hope you enjoyed that build. Obviously, it's a bit slow and clunkish, I can imagine, but yeah, saves you having to listen to me talk about it for a minute. So we have a rocket, and we're gonna try this again. Come on, Jeb, we need to make orbit. Yeah, we need to do it. So SAS on. Our boosters are gonna be first, and then detach. 3, 2, 1. Lift off. Oh, we're off. Orbit. Now it's a bit of a shallow orbit, but I stopped it because I did not want to use all my fuel. Alright, we got enough fuel here. Whew. Panic is over. We are in an orbit. But we don't want to disengage our second stage until we deorbit ourselves, otherwise we ain't coming home. Now I might be able to correct this orbit a little bit. So now our apogee is over there, I think. That's our periapsis. Apogee is there at 125 and our periapsis is at 104. So we're in space, essentially. So let's get past apogee a minute. There we go. So past apogee and we're in space. And we're in orbit. So let's do some science. Gotta love some science, don't you guys? None of this would be possible if we didn't have science. Even this game, in a sense, is derived from the technology made by science. So let's do some. Well, that's our crew hatch. I'm actually going to do an EVA. As long as I don't let go. I don't want Jeb floating off. Right. Let's do an EVA report. Alright. Let's board back inside, you little nutcase. Alright. Now, where is me other science? I think it's all here. So we got log pressure data. And it gives us no science, because that's crap. So what we do, we reset experiment. And what we'll do, we'll take it when we get back down to the planet. Now, I think the same with the mysterious goo. It's going to be 0. No, it's 0.7. Alright. So we'll keep that. And temperature, I have 2, because I'm going to use 1 to re-enter. Not re-enter, when I land. I don't know where I'm going to land. That's 0 as well. So, yeah, all of our science instruments have been done to death. That's why we need to do missions. No, on the crew capsule. There we go. Right, I think we're good. Obviously, we're floating around a bit because I think SAS is off. Right, SAS is on. Alright, so let's check out where we are on our orbit. Let's do a couple of orbits, shall we? Just to say we've done an orbit. Let's do 1,000 times.
So that's essentially one orbit. Now what I'm thinking of doing is you see that bit of desert there. I want to try and land in the desert to basically get some data in the desert. So you're wondering how am I going to do this? Well, you need to work out whereabouts you're going to be descending from when you deorbit. Now, when you deorbit, your position of point, I think, becomes your apoapsis, and then your periapsis, which is the lowest point, which is currently over here, right? That then goes down, right? So if I flip and go the other way, which is there, ooh, don't overshoot. If I was to fire my engines now, you'll see the circle get smaller. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly burn. And where is it dropping? So it's dropping in. That is the apoapsis. So the periapsis is still there. So speed up a little bit. So I want to land just. I want the line to basically go just shy of that desert. Still in the water, because obviously as you bleed off speed in re-entry, you do slow down, and your descent angle or that line changes. So let's find our rear again, which is it that one? I don't think so. It is that one there with the little X in it. Overshot. Alright. So we get burn again. And alright, you see where the periapsis is now? Just want to get it so it goes in the planet. And we're going the other way now. Let's have a look. Yeah, he's still going down. So once it reaches 0, which is there we go. Now, that is our angle of descent there. But when we burn up, we should land in the desert. But for safety, let's just do that a minute. So no matter what we do, if I get it there. So basically, that is our trajectory. But obviously, as we hit the atmosphere, we are going to slow down. So that line was going to go backwards. And I reckon it'll be about here. Yeah, we're under the atmosphere. So we need to detach before it blows up. There we go. And then spin us round for re-entry. If it lets me. There you go. You can change the altitude for any way you want, and yeah. So it's completely optional what you do. And there is Jebediah, loving every minute of his life because he's an astronaut and gets to go on these crazy adventures. So we get some science for that, and let's just recover the vessel. And we have done it. We have achieved orbit on the 4th launch. and we've gained almost all the science that we can achieve with all our science equipment. Now, obviously, the repeatable science lacks yield. Yeah, so obviously you get 0 data because you've already done it. So you want to basically we get a level up as well. So we should have auto assist now on retrograde and anti-grade, I think it's called, something like that. Yeah. But there we have it. We're just gonna check our missions that we have done, and we have done test the liquid fuel engine. Yep. Recent accomplishments: we have returned to the surface. We have performed an EVA test at home. We have entered orbit. We have performed a spacewalk in orbit, and we have returned to the surface from orbits. So all great milestones. And we have orbit achieved. That's another 8 science. And we didn't tell the recovery team that you'd be staying in space, so they're still looking great job. That's funny. Right. So there we have it. Now we have a shed ton of science to go through. We have 104. So let's expand our rocketry with some stuff now. And that one is flight control. So we go with science because we need obviously more science to unlock more science. But who knows if we're going to be carrying this series on. It's completely down to if you guys watch it and you like it. Yeah, and if you like me rambling on about science, rockets and whatnot. Yeah, so if you do like the video and you want me to continue this series, please smash that like button, comment your thoughts and if you want me to continue. And if you haven't already and you do like this video and my content, please subscribe. It does mean a great deal. I've been Dr. McKay, bringing you another Kerbal Space Program episode. Until the next time, fly safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.